Welcome to Chris Strub Unmuted. I'm Chris Strub, and today we're talking fatherhood with the guru himself, Vincent Orleck.
I think we always tell ourselves and tell each other how fast it goes. The time just goes so fast. Um, when and it just couldn't be more true.
First things first, though, if you're a fan of the show, we need a little C4. So I am in the process of gradually flirting with these guys. You saw in the group chat they sent me a fridge.
I did. Very
This is a
nice.
new flavor to me. This pink lemonade. I just recorded with our buddy Dan Genghis, so I tasted it. It was good. We're gonna drink some
So
of it.
it's energy drink
It's
or
all-time energy, all-time taste, baby.
okay. What's zero what? What's that? Is that a what's
No sugar, no fat, no artificial colors.
no
Fat,
sugar?
fat in an energy drink would be really interesting. Like, how would you get fat in here? But yeah,
So, okay, no sugar, no sugar. What's the sodium?
no sodium,
What?
no sodium, no.
Wait,
Yeah, dude.
this is something I can have.
Carbonated water, citric acid, malic acid, beta power, betaine, anhydrous. I mean, it's 200 milligrams of caffeine is really what it is. And as someone
I
who
don't care about that. I mean, that's
I don't,
good. That's
are,
fine.
are you a coffee drinker?
I haven't been. I mean, so did I tell you the whole diabetic thing? Do you know? Oh, so in March, I was in the hospital because I don't remember who I told, so I didn't really tell a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah.
So early March, late February, early March, I was like having a problem and I was going to the bathroom every hour. And my buddy, Adam Lidecker, who I think you know Adam, you've run
Mhm.
into him here. Yeah, Adam was like, we were talking, he's like, yeah, man, you should get that checked out. I was like, yeah, I think so. It's been like a day or two and it was not going away. So went to the ER, well, went to the urgent care and they were like, yeah, your blood sugar is 430 or something just from the finger prick. And they're like, you should go over to the ER and get checked in because it's way too high. And went there and it was like another 100 points higher when they did it there. So they were like, yeah, let's get you going here. Let's get you hooked up to an IV and had the insulin and water hydrating and then something else I forget. But um, admitted me intensive care because the IV has to be changed like every whatever, every hour, every 2 hours, depending on which one they're changing.
Yeah.
So spent overnight in the ICU. Was fine. Like I felt fine. I was I felt fine. And they were all looking at me like, "Are you sure you feel okay?" Because usually when people come in here like this, they're not ambulatory. I'm like, oh, well, I guess I came in time then. Um, I was overweight, dude. I work from home, have worked from home for a while. I wasn't exercising, wasn't eating right. I was eating all the wrong things and at all the wrong times. And I mean, it was gonna happen eventually. I'm an idiot. Everybody was telling me, watch it. So anyway, I spent like 2.5 days in the hospital, sent me home. Now I'm on insulin and Manjaro, GLP-1.
Yeah.
I've lost 40 pounds since
There you
then,
go.
and in a good way. So it is good. I'm on less insulin now. I take it twice a day, morning and night. The Manjaro I take once a week. I eat, my whole diet has changed. Like I eat That's why I'm asking about this because I'm always on the lookout. Because now I'm drinking like sparkling waters, like zero sugar. The
Yeah.
sodium is like a concern. I just keep an eye on that. I have sodium still, but not like crazy. Like 2,000 milligrams of sodium a day. Uh, the calories, it ends up just being fine because of the way I'm eating. So anyway, that's the that's the gist of it. I'm in a much better place now. I'm advancing, moving forward in a positive manner. I don't think I'll be running any 5Ks or half marathons or marathons with you anytime soon. However, you never know. Next time you're in Phoenix and you come for the Tillman run or something, maybe. Who knows?
Well, look, I'm glad you're alive, man. I mean,
Me too.
when doctors look at you confused and say people aren't usually ambulatory at this point, that's not
Yeah,
great.
yeah,
That's not great.
yeah.
Anyway, hell of a cold open. This is Chris Strub Unmuted, a show designed for open dialogue, honest reflection, and uncensored truths about the lives that we lead. Today, today's episode talks about how my buddy Vincent is still alive. And I would say
Here,
equally as importantly, Vincent, yeah, there you go. Um,
I'm
this
here.
month, this season, season 6, we're talking about fatherhood. And I'm flipping through my brain of the guys who I love and trust, who are fathers. And I was like, I got to talk to Vincent, right?
Sweet.
So, I know you've worked a million different jobs over the years. I'd love to tangentially pivot eventually into like the impact because uh, let's you introduce yourself to the audience now as a healthy living man out in Phoenix. So give us 60 seconds on who you are, why we're talking to you, and then we'll talk about fatherhood. And I also want to talk to you about the impact of social media on that next generation because you and I share this bond with being social media pros, right? So who's Vincent
Sure.
Orleck, and tell me about your fatherhood experience to date.
Yeah, so I'll lead with I'm married with two daughters. The oldest is turning 26 this year, so she's out of the house. She's on her own, doing her thing. Uh, a success, I would say, to date. Um, my youngest is about to be 13 in September, so we're already hitting that teen stride. We're already attitude wise and everything. She's a great kid, but she has her moments, like we all do. But as a teen, I could feel it coming. So we've been through it once already. Yeah.
Well,
So yeah,
once every 13 years, it sounds like you guys are due.
no more, no more, no more. It's not happening. That would be dangerous, actually. Uh, the yeah. And so me, I mean, I'm originally from Rhode Island, little tiny Providence, Rhode Island. Um, people, it's tough to get out of there. It seems people don't like to leave, or if they leave, they come back. I moved to Arizona over 20 years ago now, and I love it here. Phoenix area, made a life here, met my wife here. Um, I do social media. I've been doing marketing, social media marketing, digital marketing for over 15 years now. Um, yeah, and kind of across the board. That's why when people ask me like, what do you specialize in? I guess it's tough because I think you can apply a lot of these principles for social media marketing across most every industry, or the same things apply with audience and strategy and all that.
Yeah.
So it's just how you do it and being intentional about it. um so it's always tough for me to narrow that down right now. I'm doing my own thing, freelancing, consulting. Yeah. I mean, again,
Fantasy football draft prep.
fantasy football draft prep is huge, huge, about to be huger. I'm also in a movie draft right now with 49 other people online in a Facebook group. It's pretty intense. Um, so that's fun.
How do you
But
draft? I don't want to digress too deep into this, but you're drafting movies?
yeah, it's just a fun thing. It's not as intense. I mean, it's intense, but it's not like our fantasy football draft where it's just the draft and that's it. Um, Yeah, and I really enjoy marketing. I enjoy doing the social media stuff. I enjoy following it. I have a I I'll say I have a love-hate relationship with it because it's made me a living for a number of years. But I hate what it does, what it can do to society and to people's brains, mine probably included, although I try to moderate, but I probably don't think I do a good job of it. I'm online all the time. Um, so yeah,
Your your
yeah,
oldest is 26. She was born into a world really without social media. So, you and her have seen and grown through this. I mean, we all, I'm 40, like we've all grown into this, but as a parent, it had to have
Mhm.
been fascinating to see that element introduced into her life as she got older. I guess at 26, you're still kind of a digital millennial at this point, right? So 26 and 13, there's a big contrast in the
Yeah,
way your kids would have grown up experiencing those things separately,
definitely.
right?
Yes, the absolutely. The 26-year-old, she she was just a quiet kid anyway. She did a lot. She just hung out in her room a lot. She's into like Korean drama and Netflix and stuff growing up. Um, she she wasn't really on the Instagram feed and I mean,
Right.
well, not Facebook for sure, but um, even like Snapchat. Yeah, she had Snapchat, and there's an element of we definitely subscribe to the idea of trusting your child and your parenting. That said, you're still gonna pay attention and monitor, and but that also it all mixes with, I think, with just your parenting in general. Like if you're aware of what your kid is doing, again, she was super chill at home most times. She wasn't going out partying much at all until she kind of left the house. She's done a little bit more of that, but as an adult, the 13-year-old or the 12-year-old, she was raised with an iPad in her hand. I'm not gonna lie, absolutely did that. Or YouTube on the TV. The
Yeah.
YouTube playlist is still on my account that I used to play for her. It's like a lot of Sesame Street music videos and Weird Al Yankovic, and it's a very eclectic mix. But
But
as
it's
she's
three
gotten
it's
older, yeah,
three entirely different childhood experiences. I know you're a few
yes,
years older than I am, and but I grew up in a space without any of this stuff.
right, as did
I
I, yeah,
remember
for sure,
standing up and twisting the dial on the TV to change a
yes,
channel from CBS to ABC, right? Like, and people don't understand these days. Like, I know I'm aging both of us now by saying all this kind of stuff, but I grew up in a house where America Online CDs were being mailed to us, and we'd be like, "Oh, I get like 5 hours of online time a week," and like, "Mom, hang up the phone. I'm on the
yes,
internet." Like that. It
yes,
shit sounds insane now, but that's the way life was, where we would go down the street and play at the playground, right? And like, oh, I'll be back in 2 hours, but like you didn't have a phone, to
right.
like keep track. Like, so
Well, and as a parent right now, it's I think about this a lot. Like my kid has a phone. My youngest has a phone. I just dropped her off at softball camp. Like, you have your phone, right? Like, yeah, we're going to utilize that technology
like,
to keep the kids safe and not monitor them all the time, but there's an element of safety. I will tell you just quick story. She was on the bus last year to school or coming home from school, and the bus driver went a little wacko. It was a new bus driver and didn't know where she was going. And so she was like going up the main street way past any of the neighborhoods. And she wasn't like kidnapping the kids. She was just out of it or something. Like she didn't know what to do, apparently. And my kid had her phone and she's texting me. She's like, and she wasn't panicking. She was just letting me know. She's like, hey dad, we're not going the right way. We're passing, this supermarket where it's way up the street. And I was like, okay, can you call me? She called me. We're on the phone. I hear all the kids screaming on the bus about the yelling at the bus driver. And but she's like, no, I see where we are. Like I know where we are. And then she had texted her mom, my wife, and my wife at that point on that day was home and was able to get in her car and just like go see where the bus was. So it ended up fine. They replaced the bus driver the next day. But long story short, like I'm really glad she had her phone, to let us know, because otherwise she would have been home like an hour late. No, my wife would have been freaking out.
yeah.
Everyone would have been calling the school, or she would have been calling the school. So like, there's we all know the positives and the negatives. I think for the most part, I'm always gonna probably lean more towards the technology being a positive, just because of what I do and how I my belief system. So
Have you worked with either of your daughters on, being 13, probably not yet, but you and I share this love and belief in building a personal brand,
yeah.
right? Like, so, but as a father, I just talked to Dan Genghis about this in about an hour ago. Like,
Hmm.
how much of an arm's length do you allow your kids to kind of, do their own thing and become their own people while you're watching and thinking like, oh, I might not do this, or I would advise against this, or like how much leeway do you choose to give your kids, especially kids being such, the age gap there? Like,
Yeah.
how do you deal with them differently?
You're right in that like she's 12 turning 13, so a lot of the platforms even don't, she's got to put her birthday, and so, she can work around that for sure. They all can. Does she know? At least,
But
again, not to
now she's getting to
now
that
she's getting
age
to that.
where this
Yep.
stuff, and we both, I mean, we both read Gary V and stuff, and it's like the
Hmm.
earlier you start, the better off you're going to be and stuff like that.
Right.
So at what age do you start to develop that skill set? Again, I mean, you're a pro. I mean, you're not a guru, right? I should drink when I say that out loud, right? But
Drink every time.
I know, right? So at what point in your daughter's life does that start to become a consideration, even if it's not yet? Have you thought about that?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'll say with the oldest, it really was never something to consider necessarily because she wasn't really that active to that extent. Um, she used it more to like message and communicate. She wasn't really
Hmm.
posting per se.
Yeah.
Um, with the youngest, she's gotten into a little bit. I mean, look, I'm not gonna push the personal brand aspect or that, I'm not gonna like throw that on her or encourage her or push her to do it. I doubt she'll go that route because I don't know if you've noticed, Chris, but the kids, Gen Alpha, never mind Gen Z. Gen Alpha is like the antithesis so far, for the most part, from what I've seen. Like her classmates, these kids are they're even anti AI, right? Using AI. They're like, ew, cringe. They're anti the whole like trying too hard, and that's what a lot of people, they kind of see that as like a try hard type thing, for better or worse. I mean, I think the people that do it badly, yeah, it comes off pretty try hard. Someone like you mentioned, like Gary, he's got his own personal brand, but he's also a successful business person, like
Yeah.
gajillions. He knows what he's doing. He's known what he's done for years. With my youngest, like, she started a YouTube channel because she wanted to, not for her like to be out there. She likes to edit videos and throw videos together in like CapCut or whatever,
Yeah.
and post them on YouTube for her friends to see, to share with their friends, and then they do the same thing too. So all that to say, it's I don't know. I don't know that I'll get to the point really of, if she asks, certainly. But she's also a sponge
Yeah.
and she sees my life. It's funny because COVID, she was in kindergarten when COVID hit. And so the end of
Oh
her
my
kindergarten
gosh.
year, it was with me, right? So I was working at home, she's doing school from home, and then first and second grade, we kept her home also. And 2.5, 3 years almost, she's my coworker basically. Like we're sitting next to each other, like right close to each other, whether it was the office or in this room. And I do think there was some in those formative years, like she and I are very close also. Um, she's got my sense of humor, I would say, and so
Uh-oh.
that's I've rubbed off on her. Like, yeah, we talk about it too. Like we have like little inside jokes, and like she'll, and it's not it's not like typical things. It's stuff where she'll pick up on something and think that I'll find it funny, and she'll look at me and I'll be like laughing, and so it's like that sort of thing. But she's super smart too. Like she knows what she likes, what she doesn't like. So going forward, if something like that changes, the last thing I would say about it is she's super into softball. I could see maybe something along those lines where something develops like a YouTube channel for that. She's just getting into junior high. It's going to be interesting what the peer influence is social media wise, because elementary school they can't, they can't have phones in school anyway, no matter what. But her friends, they're very into Roblox. They're playing Roblox all the time. They're watching YouTube for sure. But they're not like it's not like an Instagram fest or Snapchat fest or TikTok fest. They're
It's
just
it's
not there.
it's funny, Vincent. One of the big principles of conducting an interview, I guess, is you don't always want to ask questions that you really genuinely don't know the answers to. I really don't know the answer, and I don't know that
Right.
you know the answer either. You and I have talked about this for years and years, and
Yeah.
but Vincent's kind of like the my executive director of our fantasy football league, where I'm the commissioner in name only, but Vincent does all the hard stuff for me. So we've been working on in this league together. Is that a fair way to describe it? Right? Like,
Sure. I mean, you make all the hard decisions, I would say. I
yeah,
chime in.
we worked together on this stuff.
Yeah.
But my point
Yeah.
is, we have been in this group of social media pros for many years now, and even
Yeah.
that group, which is filled with some really smart, successful people, we don't know these answers either, right? Especially, and especially as it relates to
Right.
fatherhood, because I got my dog here, but not a human being, at least not yet. So I don't know. And I think we're all trying to figure all of this out together. When I ask you, like, oh, is your youngest getting into, personal branding or considering it, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Is that
Right.
is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Like the job market for someone who's about to be 13 years old, 5 years from now, what does that look like?
Yeah.
Right? You're saying that this generation is really staunchly against AI, but 5 years from now, are we going to have a choice? Right? So I don't know. You do feel that way sometimes too? Like we're trying to
Yes.
figure this out as we go?
Oh, even having one child already come through and grown, like it still doesn't mean that it's going to be the same for the next one along. It's just different. Every kid's different. And uh, they're just you got to adjust. It's just adjusting, and you may even if you think you kind of have like the way that you want to do it, they they may not agree at a certain point. You can't just it's not like when they're 5 and you can sort of make them do things. Um, when they're this age, it's like you can kind of withhold some sort of reward or a thing that they're really looking forward to, like going to a
Yeah.
movie with their friends that they really want to like. She went to go see Backrooms. Let all the hate come through. She went to go see an R-rated movie with her friends and a supervising parent, but they went to go see Backrooms. They were dying to see it.
You're gonna
Um,
get you're gonna get my podcast canceled here.
yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
the
No, well,
cancellation word.
she hid her head. She took her stuffy with her and hid her head the whole time. Like they were all laughing, like not at her, but like with her, and she was laughing about it because she was like she wanted to go to be with her friends for the experience. She didn't want to go to see the whatever is happening at the end. Yeah.
When did you decide that you wanted to be a father?
Oh. Oh man, when did I decide? When did I make that active decision? I mean, I think well, not growing up, but once you get older, I just never had an issue with if I was gonna say I was gonna like date someone with kids, back then.
Mhm.
That was never an issue for me. So for some people, it's like, oh my God, I would never do that. Um, but I always, when I was younger, like I always thought about, oh, I would like to be a father. I'd like to have kids at some point in my life. But I was just never in a rush because I kind of figured, I just knew it would happen when it was supposed to happen. I guess I don't know if that's always true, but it did for me. I was a little bit older as a father, but now like I'm not too old. I'm I'm old. I'm old. I'm just fine where I'm at. Um, but yeah, I growing up with a single mom, I always felt like, could I be a good dad? I thought probably I could be because I know what it's like not to have one around, and I know what I would want to do for that child, to like sort of make that whole.
what's something you know now as a dad that you wish you knew before you became a dad?
Hmm. Wish I knew now.
And not that Christian McCaffrey was going to be RB1 last year, because
No, no. Well, I think
that
we
I
all,
wish I would have known.
well, we all knew it was possible as long as he stayed healthy. Um, I, I I think we always tell ourselves and tell each other how fast it goes. The time just goes so fast. Um, when and it just couldn't be more true. So I would just reiterate to myself that, hey, just take as much advantage as you can of the time when the kids are like really young, basically 0 to now.
Yeah.
Zero, I mean, because the youngest is 12. She she's got her own way of doing things and has her own thoughts about things, and I love who she is at this point. I would say that no matter what, I'm sure, but um I the time spent, make the most of the time that you can. I in a way in a way COVID helped for some time, because it not that we weren't already spending time with them and with her, but that was like every day, like I said, for a couple of years together in the house. Now that there's pros and cons to that, but I feel like I'm a good enough person and ended up being a good enough dad where the good things rubbed off. And from my wife, of course, as well. My wife was in a position where she did have to go into work in person because she was an essential worker
Mhm.
during that time. But you know, it's still a good thing, I think, in the end, as far as how she's been raised and how they both been raised, because the oldest was actually with us too at the time in the house.
We'll wrap things up here in a minute because I know you got stuff to do, Vincent. But last hard one for you. Okay. And I don't provide questions to my guests
No,
in case that's not apparent yet.
well,
Like
spur of the moment.
every episode you've seen, I try and hit these guys with these questions off the bat, especially this season, because I think if I ask someone about and every person that I've asked so far for this season, it's an immediate yes. Like being able to talk about being a dad, just it feels different. I
Yeah,
can't speak to it personally yet, but when I texted you about this, you're like, oh my God, yeah, of course, right? Like this is
yeah.
what more could you want to ask to talk about? So I want to probably get us out with this. What's one thing that you've learned from your kids that's made you a better professional and or human being? And remember, this is tougher for you I mean, this is the biggest age gap, of the parents that I've talked to so
Yeah,
far. It's like a dual, like a totally different experience on both sides, right? Like 26 versus
for
12.
sure.
Like,
Yeah, and they're very different. Like I said, the oldest was very quiet, stayed in her room, kind of like just did her own thing. This
yeah, and
one,
then being 13 with a newborn in the house,
right?
14, 15, 16 with a 1, 2, 3 year old.
Yeah. Well, she
That's an
asked for
experience in
it.
itself.
She wanted a sibling. She was bugging us all the time, and
Uh, She
so
got
we
it.
obliged, of course. And the question was, what's the one thing that they've taught me?
Yeah. What have you learned from your kids? Either or both.
Um, uh, Probably even more patience. I think I feel as though I've been a pretty patient person during my life. Um, but over the last several years, decade or so, patience can wear thin. Um, Not because of them, more so outlier factors in the world. Um, so just
Been a
taking a
rough
step
decade.
back. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Been a rough decade. We could
Yeah.
do another episode on that stuff.
But patience, because it's caused me to have to like really just before, despite all my messages and text in the group chat where we all go back and forth. I do at times, believe it or not, take a step back and consider what I'm about to say and about to do.
Now he
So
does. Now he does.
yeah. Yeah, so that's probably the most, just because with them, like I do consider, you know, an effect if they were to if they were to see what I'm saying or posting or whatever, like what would their reaction be in a sense? Um yeah, and you know what, the other thing though, I would say the other thing too is having kids, it does, it's caused me to be more aware of the effects of this industry and marketing overall, not even just social media, but all of it on kids. Because
Mhm.
it's like getting younger and younger because more and more younger kids are online. And so marketers are like aiming to hit them with ads or with content, and that's a slippery slope. It's not necessarily a great one. We've heard, horror stories about it, and more negative than positive, I think. So that's something in industry wise, I would say that has I've thought about a lot more because of them.
Well, Vincent, this has been great. I really appreciate you taking the time. I know a busy guy out in Phoenix. This season has been really cool for me to hear different perspectives from different dads. Hope you get a chance to listen to some of the other conversations I've been having too. Like this is a
Yeah,
really important topic, especially I think in June, and this episode will be out before Father's Day comes out. Just it's heavy to be a dad. I have to imagine it's even heavier to be a and people are going to listen to this and be like 26 and 12 like that's a that's a Victor Wembanyama line, not an age gap, right? That's
yes,
not the ideal kid age split, right? So to go
yeah,
through that feels like, it's almost like you're going through the whole thing twice separately, right?
absolutely.
Like
Yeah, it's twice separately. Hopefully, you learn whatever you need to learn from the. But like I said, the kids are different. You can't parent the same way for one kid to another. Um, and all props to my wife as well, because I can't do it without her, obviously. Um, it's just it's very not custom, but I can't stress that enough that people that have that older and that gap, it's like just whatever you think that happened with the first kid, the second kid, it's not necessarily going to be that way. It's you have to adjust.
Vincent, we'll get you out on a simple one. Drake May going to be able to win the big one, or was this kind of the peak last year? I mean, that's going to be tough coming out of the AFC again, isn't it?
I I feel bad for the teams that are playing the Patriots. Honestly, like everyone's talking about the Patriots' tough schedule. What about the team's tough schedule against the Patriots? How about that against an all-pro quarterback and AJ Brown, who's about to rip roughshod through the NFL, through the AFC?
You got to play
I don't
the
know,
Jets. You got to play the Jets twice.
twice.
I mean, I don't
Dolphins
know
twice.
how you're gonna manage that, man.
Yeah, I see no I look, 9 wins I'm hoping for. 10 would be great realistically, but I thought that last year before the season, and they proved me way wrong. There's some other additional factors involved this year. Again, outside forces. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
on the field, though, I like the team on the field. They've made a lot of improvements. So yeah, look, why not? Why not? Why can't they get to the Super Bowl again? The AFC is not super strong.
I put in a request for Mike Vrabel to be part of this season,
Yeah,
and haven't heard back. So,
no,
um,
about parenting. Yeah, no.
yeah, yeah. They didn't seem too stoked about.
Oh man, yeah.
Maybe next year. Maybe next year
Connect
will
with
be.
his PR
'Cause
people and
I could see us doing this again. I think this is a really important topic, just to think about
agreed.
having these conversations, just men's mental health in general. You know what I mean? Like being
Yeah.
able to talk about being a dad, at our age. I mean, at your age and my age, I don't want to group us together because I am younger than you, but this idea of, in case I didn't bring that up,
In case,
um,
yeah.
but just being able to have these conversations man to man, it's one of the reasons why I really like our social media pros group, which is 11 dudes and Caitlin, by the way. Shout out to Caitlin. So it's not all dudes, but we'll wrap
Yep.
things up there, Vincent. Thank you for taking the time. I appreciate you, and we'll get back to bullshitting in our big group chat like we're high schoolers.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me and inviting me on and having me on and for the conversation. I love the chat.
We'll do it again. Stay safe. I would ask your doctor if C4 is right for you before you crack one open.
I will, but it's sugar free and what, sodium
So no
free?
sodium,
I
no fat,
mean,
no carbs.
I'm looking for another drink to add to my arsenal here, and I think I'm gonna have to check what is it? It's the C4. What flavor is that? Like a flavor
So
that you enjoy?
this is pink lemonade. I just tried it for the first time today. This is a seasonal summer. I think it's pink
Okay.
lemonade. It's delicious. And then
Right.
my other favorite here.
Love the fridge.
So the
Look at
fridge
that
is
thing.
actually the
Love
Mango
opening.
Fuego branded fridge. So you can see the can there. This is mango.
Yeah, yep,
It's
yep.
like spicy mango, which man, if I lived in Arizona, like this would hit even harder in that, 125-degree, 1% humidity weather that you're in all the time.
Dude, listen, as a type 2 diabetic, I that is this drink is up my alley. I swear to God, like I need another drink to add to my group here. So
All right, dude, you try it. You let me know how it goes and make sure you tag at
yeah,
C4 Energy to let them know that Chris Strub sent you. All right.
I'm
Thanks for
in.
listening to Chris Strub Unmuted. Support the show by clicking like and subscribe. Keep up with me on social media at Chris Strub. Where can people find you on social media, Vincent? I should ask you that.
I mean,
Favorite
I'm
place to
all
find
over
you.
the place. I if you want to check out my website, notaguru.co or vincentorleck.social, it goes to the same place. But if you just look up my name, Vincent Orleck, that's what my accounts are all under. So Instagram, TikTok. Well, TikTok is under Not a Guru. So yeah, that's the one where I'm a little goofiest.
This guy's one of the good ones, Vincent Orleck.
Likewise.
Thanks for taking the time, my friend. I'll see you on draft day, if not before then. And
Yes,
remember,
sir.
we are all famous to a few people. C4 cheers, buddy.